Hello, everyone across the rush. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday. If I'm being quite honest, I lose track of the days, so Saturday feels like Wednesday and Thursday, and so we're all just kind of, the days are rolling in together. So I hope everyone's healthy, has plenty of toilet paper, and is not going incredibly stir crazy. We're going to kind of chat about a couple cool things that we did. Up top, though, you're going to see that you can go to this website, slides.app.goo or goo, and you can ask questions, and they will pop up on my end, so we'll be able to ask questions. And so please feel free to ask questions. I'll be able to answer them as we go along. So ask questions, and hopefully we learn something. The background of this is a coach here at Missouri Rush went and had this great idea. He does, Bill Behrens is his name, and he hires a ton of people all the time. That's what his job is, company that he owns. And so he brought this to my attention of really, when you go on campus, it is much like a job interview. And we're not, and we want to be able to prepare you guys to be able to go on campus and talk to coaches and do these live interviews and learn about it. And so that's where this idea came from. So we sent out a survey to coaches and to ask them some questions and give you guys the feedback. And so these are some of the results of kind of what's happening. And so here's some homework for you, though. In the meantime, if you go to rushcollege.com/recruiting 101 quiz, this is part of the virtual learning center that we are continuing to do. And you can take a recruiting quiz. It's free. And then the top 3 scores are going to win a free Magoo's ACT, SAT online prep. So that's just something fun that we're doing, because today for the virtual learning center is the day of CAP. So if you don't like CAP, you don't like me, I'm sorry, you're stuck with me the rest of the day. So here we go. So we sent a survey to college coaches. 174 coaches answered, and kind of here are their answers. So the first one is obviously, what division do you coach? If you kind of look at the breakdown here of what the different divisions. So we have coaches from every single division represented here. We're also going to have the gender breakdown that are coaching. So 19% coach men, 72% are women, and then you see 8.6 are both. So that's kind of the breakdown of what we have from coaches that are answering here. Okay. One of the questions that we asked, which I thought was fascinating, is on average, how many potential student athletes do you and your staff speak with in a month? So if you guys want to type in, if you're on the slides, or type in, what do you think the answer is? So kind of throw some things out there. So the thing is, on average, how many potential student athletes do you and your staff speak to in a month? Someone throw some things out there. If you want to go to the chat, I'm kind of interested to see what some of your guys' results are. Okay. So on average, so this is the graph result of, on average, how many people do we see. So you're going to see the bulk fall in to 26 to 50 students per month. But so here's what this means. 65.4% of coaches on average are talking to 26 or more students a month. That's a lot of kids that they're talking to. And what does this mean for you? And what this is about is, how do we stand out when we talk to college coaches? Some coaches, as you saw, some coaches are talking to over 126 students a month. And that's a lot of kids that these coaches are talking to. And so we have to be able to stand out. The benefit of Rush is that you have the Rush name behind you. We are the largest youth soccer club in the world. So that helps in this situation. So we then ask, so as we're related to this, we ask on a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with what recruits do? So we ask them some questions, and we ask them these questions to be able to give you the feedback. And so, are they happy with some of the things that are happening here? So the first one that we ask is on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best. How happy with you with student athletes on the research of your program? So you see on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the best, everyone kind of fell into, almost half of them fell into that they're just okay with it. And so what this means is only 34.5% of coaches were 100% satisfied with recruits and the knowledge of their program. So when you're going on campus, are you able to answer intelligently about their program and more about the school? So 63% of coaches answered a 2 or a 3, and that's below average. So what this is telling us and telling you is we need to be better prepared to know about the program when we go on campus. So what are some things that we can research before we go? So as we prepare to go on campus, so what are the fields of study, such as nursing or communications? What is the cost of the school? What's the student population? How many kids are on campus there? What's the athletic program history? So what's their current record, or what's their record from last year, or how long has the coach been there? What conference do they play in? There's last year's record. Number of players on the team at your current position. So if you're a center back, be able to ask the question, hey, coach, I see you already have 6 center backs. How do you see me fitting in? So these are things that we need to research in advance. And so you can ask intelligent questions about that school. Next thing that was asked is on a scale of 1 to 5, how impressed with you, satisfied with you with etiquette and manners of kids on campus. This was this is pretty high. So far they're pretty impressed with this. And what this means is 74.1% of the coaches were very impressed with recruits' manners. And it's very, very important to show respect when you're on campus. When anyone you meet, coaches, assistant coaches, athletic directors, anyone that you're meeting, we shake hands. If you don't know, the rush way is we shake hands. Now, right now, in the social distancing, we can shake hands from 6 feet away, but we're going to pretend that we're not in a lockdown. So when we're back to normal, we can shake hands. It is good to shake hands or do a fist pound if shaking hands freaks you out right now. It shows a sign of respect, and you look, you make eye contact. You say, yes, sir. You say, no, ma'am. And when they ask you questions, you address a coach by, hey, Coach Tyler. And this is one of the big things is respect your parents. At the end of this, I'm going to give you a link to, there's a bunch of random suggestions that the coaches said, but the respect of your parents is absolutely incredible. I'm sure some parents are laughing right now, but respect your mom, respect your dad. Because if you're on campus and you think it's funny or think it's cool to be rude to your mom or dad, what that coach is watching for is if you're rude to your parents, how are you going to treat your teammates? How are you going to treat me as a coach? How are you going to treat your athletic staff? Be nice to your parents. If you want to be rude to them when you go back home and you're not in public, that's fine. But be nice to your parents in public. Open the door for them. Say please. Say thank you. Also, your parents have paid a lot of money to get you to this point. So show some respect, because I promise you coaches are watching that. Then we ask about written communication. How important is written communication? So you can see what the response were. The majority of coaches are in there between the 3 and the 4 again. So this is written communication. This is email, text messages, things like that. And so, again, what does that mean? So almost 50% of the coaches were just about written communication. They were 3 or below. So they're right now not that impressed. So if we can improve our written communication, it's going to help you stand out. So again, this is emails, this is text, etc. We need to learn to over communicate with college coaches. If you go back, if you remember the first slide of how many communications they're having on a monthly basis with players, we need to over communicate with coaches on these written emails. And right now is a fantastic time to check in. How are you doing? Hope you're healthy. Hope things are going well. when you're playing during a season, once you have a communication with a coach, email them, text them, and say, hey, I just had, I just had this game, and here's what we did. So over communicate with them, stand out. You need to be able to communicate with coaches. Sending one email to a coach does not mean they're going to notice you. In fact, they're probably not going to notice you. So send multiple emails. And again, once you have a dialogue with a coach, keep up with them as they're your friend, because you need to be in front of them. In-person communication. So now we are talking about when we are on campus and the importance of in-person communication here. So you see, most of them are a 3 or a 4, and we say, okay, what does this mean for you? Only 10% were incredibly satisfied. So again, most of them are kind of falling in that, okay. 50% of the coaches were less than impressed with the recruits' ability to communicate in person. And again, in person, can you make eye contact? How are you sitting? How are you looking? Are you there with your arms crossed? Are you on your phone? Are you sitting back saying, I'm bored? Your nonverbal communication is incredibly important. So here's some homework for you on this topic. Prepare your questions and answers in advance, because what this does is help you feel more confident. One of the advice that Bill Behrens gave from here at Missouri Rush is go to maybe your 10th favorite school that you're interested in, because it is nerve-wracking. And so go to the school that you're not quite as interested in, but go use it as a test. So if you mess up, it's not your favorite school you're messing up on. So don't go to your number one pick first for an on-campus visit. Go visit a school that you're kind of interested in. So that way it's not as scary if you mess up. So we do have a list of questions you can prepare. Here's the number one question they're probably going to ask you is, be prepared to tell me about yourself. Know that answer. This is your opportunity to talk about you and what you like to do, what makes you different. If someone says, tell me about yourself, and you're like, I have, it doesn't show much confidence. So be able to talk about yourself. Practice these questions, practice in the mirror, practice in front of your mom or dad, practice when you're doing stuff. Right now, you have a lot of downtime to practice. So make sure you're practicing, that question. And so we do have rushcollege.com. I know that's a long URL. But these are questions to ask in a recruiting visit. If you go to rushcollege.com and you type in on the bottom, you can search for questions to ask. So we have a list of questions that you can ask in advance, and that will help you prepare, help you feel more confident. And you can actually bring a list of questions with you. It's okay to look at your notes and say, hey, here's some questions that I have for you.
Have you ever talked with a friend about a problem, only to realize that he just doesn't seem to grasp why the issue is so important to you? Have you ever presented an idea to a group, and it's met with utter confusion? Or maybe you've been in an argument when the other person suddenly accuses you of not listening to what they're saying at all. What's going on here? The answer is miscommunication, and in some form or another, we've all experienced it. It can lead to confusion, animosity, misunderstanding, or...
Yeah. I can't hear it anymore. We can't hear this. We can't hear the video anymore. Oh, we can't hear the video anymore. We can't
help us prevent miscommunication. For decades, researchers have asked what happens when we communicate. One interpretation, called the transmission model, views communication as a message that moves directly from one person to another, similar to someone tossing a ball and walking away. But in reality, this simplistic model doesn't account for communication's complexity. Enter the transactional model, which acknowledges the many added challenges of communicating. With this model, it's more accurate to think of communication between people as a game of catch. As we communicate our message, we receive feedback from the other party. Through the transaction, we create meaning together.
Yeah, I hear you.
But from this exchange, further complications arise. It's not like the Star Trek universe, where some characters can Vulcan mind meld, fully sharing thoughts and feelings. As humans, we can't help but send and receive messages through our own subjective lenses. When communicating, one person expresses her interpretation of a message, and the person she's communicating with hears his own interpretation of that message. Our perceptual filters continually shift meanings and interpretations. Remember that game of catch? Imagine it with a lump of clay. As each person touches it, they shape it to fit their own unique perceptions based on any number of variables, like knowledge or past experience, age, race, gender, ethnicity, religion, or family background. Simultaneously, every person interprets the message they receive based on their relationship with the other person and their unique understanding of the semantics and connotations of the exact words being used. They could also be distracted by other stimuli, such as traffic or a growling stomach. Even emotion might cloud their understanding. And by adding more people into a conversation, each with their own subjectivities, the complexity of communication grows exponentially. So as the lump of clay goes back and forth from one person to another, reworked, reshaped, and always changing, it's no wonder our messages sometimes turn into a mush of miscommunication. But luckily, there are some simple practices that can help us all navigate our daily interactions for better communication. 1. Recognize that passive hearing and active listening are not the same. Engage actively with the verbal and nonverbal feedback of others and adjust your message to facilitate greater understanding. 2. Listen with your eyes and ears, as well as with your gut. Remember that communication is more than just words. 3. Take time to understand as you try to be understood. In the rush to express ourselves, it's easy to forget that communication is a two-way street. Be open to what the other person might say. And finally, 4, be aware of your personal perceptual filters. Elements of your experience, including your culture, community, and family, influence how you see the world. Say, this is how I see the problem, but how do you see it? Don't assume that your perception is the objective truth. That'll help you work towards sharing a dialogue with others to reach a common understanding together.
All right. I thought that was very interesting of kind of talking about the social cues. And I'll share this so you guys can watch that later as well. But I really like kind of the some of the tips that they're giving you for nonverbal communication and in-person communication. So one of the things I really liked is the active listening versus passive listening. So when you're there, make sure you're listening, make sure you're really soaking things in, and when they're talking to you. Okay, so now we have in-person appearance. What do you look like? How do you dress? This actually does matter. I know we are in an age that people can wear sweatpants to school, and but that is not acceptable for an on-campus visit. When you're on campus, everything you're doing matters. Everything from your look. So I want to take a second.
Ask questions I get is.
I want to take a second to listen to what this coach said about what do you wear when you go on campus. Yep.
Ask questions I get is, what should I wear on an official visit? So here's some general guidelines for you. If you're a male, wearing a collared shirt with nice jeans or khakis is the way to go. If you're a female, wearing a skirt, a dress, some nice slacks, could be nice khakis as well. Something to show that it's more of a formal occasion than it would be just a casual thing where you're wearing like a t-shirt and shorts. But here's the key with all that, making sure so that you can move around in. You're going to be doing tours, so making sure that you can move from what you have. Now with that, you also want to make sure you bring with you some athletic clothes, some workout clothes that you could also use in case they ask you to work out with the team. Make sure you're also bringing those shoes you'll need to wear to do that athletic activity as well. Now here's some things to avoid. Make sure you avoid wearing ripped jeans, sweat pants, sweat shirts, making sure that you avoid wearing a hat, flip-flops, things of that nature that kind of show them it's too relaxed here. So you want to make sure you're going into an interview setting, you dress appropriately. Now, you don't have to get over the top. Like I said, once again, you're going to have to make sure that you can move, make sure you dress so that it shows them it's important to you and that this visit is a top priority as well. Hope this helps.
Okay. So as you heard him say, I know some of you guys are probably rolling your eyes and saying, why do I have to wear a skirt? You know, you need to look nice. The important thing is that this visit matters to you and it matters to the coach. They are taking the time to meet with you, and so it needs to show the importance. As he said, bring stuff with you. So bring a bag of extra stuff. You're going to know in advance if you're going to be training with the team or what you're going to be doing. So, but look nice, dress nice. It does matter. Some of the best recruits that I've met with on campus look nice. It's the very, very, very first thing that you notice when you introduce yourself. So you have the opportunity to look nice. You got one shot at that first impression. Moving on, we're going to talk about highlight videos. Highlight videos are not necessarily an on-campus thing, but it gets you noticed before you go to campus. And right now, highlight videos obviously are very, very important. So they've been somewhat satisfied with the highlight videos, but they are incredibly important. Over half the coaches are just kind of okay with what the highlight videos are like. So we got a couple of examples for highlight videos and the importance of them. So right now, I know we're not going to do any on-campus visits, but you can still reach out to coaches and work on your communication skills with them. So they are very, very important right now. A couple of different ways we can do it. They need to be under 5 minutes max. You need to put your best skills forward. And the very first 30 seconds are the most important, because if you do a 2-minute build up to a goal, they will click off it. You need to showcase off the ball movements. There are a lot of things you can do. Anyone can record 10 goals in a row. We need to showcase what you do off the ball. You only, in a given game, if you take statistics, you only have the ball at your foot for 2 minutes. That's it. So the rest of the game, coaches need to see, what are you doing? So you don't have to zoom in, zoom out and show the skills you're doing. Because if you take yourself as an outside back in a 4-back system, you sprint up the field to make a run, and then you do it again, and you sprint back, and then you do it again. And it's okay to show that run. It's okay to show a big run up the field, get across. Maybe that cross doesn't end up well, but then you show yourself tracking all the way back to defend, because if you get counterattacked, those things are incredibly important to see. You can also showcase 5 different skills. So for example, like I just mentioned, tracking back, maybe you show a 1-minute video of you winning the ball out of the air and you're heading the ball. Maybe it's your distribution, or maybe you're showing a video of the through balls, of how they end up and how you're kind of seeing the field. So you can do a series of 5 different short videos of 60 to 90 seconds max that can showcase specific skills. I do want to show you this video of a forward. It's a short video. It's going to get right to the point. You see, it's a minute long. There's not crazy highlight. There's not crazy music. So you're going to see her battling. She doesn't make the best pass, but what she does here, she tracks back to get the ball. Like, that's an impressive thing that we're looking at as a coach, going, okay, she lost the ball, but she got it back. And this is her again. The team's going to lose the ball, and then she's going to go on it back. So there's not cool, prolific music going with it. It's just showing how hard she works and what she's doing. And so there, she stays with it. Ends up, you're going to see at the end, she doesn't score a goal, but it shows you that she's tracking with the ball and just how hard she continues to work. Didn't score, but that's okay. That sequence building up to it is everything happening here. So you will get, in a minute and a half, you get the gist of how hard this player works. So that's just kind of a short example. Now, you can make highlight videos yourself if you want to break them down. We will have a partnership signed this week that is going to take your full game videos and make highlight videos. We're really, really excited about it. We're kind of negotiating price right now, but you can take your full game video, send it in, and you don't have to mark the time. We're going to do it for you. So we're going to break it down. And the partnership is with a video editing company, and she is a college coach currently. So she's going to do video the way that she wants to see it. So that's going to be a really cool partnership. So stay tuned for that. But that's something, if you have full game videos, we're going to upload it, and you'll be able to, they're going to be able to break your highlight videos down for you. So really excited about that. So that's kind of the importance of highlight videos here. Let's talk about wonderful social media. So the question was asked, have you walked away from recruiting a player based on social media? And I want you guys to really soak that in. Take a picture of it, whatever you want. Have you walked away from recruiting a player based on social media? 74.1% said yes. That is a massive, massive number of people that could have walked away from social media. 74.1% said yes, they've walked away from recruiting a player based on social media. This was a cool tweet that I saw. You can read it. Recruit, social media matters. I've now dropped 15 recruits this year because of their Twitter post, likes, or retweets. Explicit images, racist words, and demeaning posts are unacceptable. Your thumbs are killing your opportunities. What you post matters. There are people on campus. My job when I was at the University of Missouri, St. Louis, was to dig through social media to make sure kids aren't doing stupid stuff. It matters to coaches, because if you're not able to control a tweet, are you able to control yourself in front of a team? Before you step foot on campus, there is someone on staff that has tried to find in your social media. There are ways to track it down. You have to understand the importance of that, of what you post. There are two thought processes, but clean your social media up. You have nothing but time right now. Funny posts are fine, but clean your social media up, because coaches will find it. Because what you don't want is that your parents are going to have to do this.
Now let's see if it works. Nope, it still works. Let's crash it some more. Yep, that's good.
One big hit. Here it comes. So you don't want your parents to have to destroy your phone to stop social media, because I promise you there's parents right now that will do that to protect you, but you have to be smart on social media. Okay. Here's the homework we have. If you go to rushcollege.com/answers, what that is another, it's just random things that coaches filled out. At the end of that survey, we asked anything else you want to add. I don't want to go through all 64 answers. Some of them are incredibly long, but they're really good. There's some good stuff. There's random answers. So rushcollege.com/answers, and you can dig through, and it's just a list of their answers. rushcollege.com, and you see the /recruiting 101 quiz. Go on there, take the quiz. It's interesting. It's fun. It's about the kind of different recruitment rules that you can do. The last thing that I have for you before we kind of answer questions is rushcollege.com/joke of the day. Starting Monday, we will be doing the Rush Daily Show. We'll be coming to you live, posting every day. And one of the things we're looking for is good content and jokes of the day. So if you have a joke, it has to be clean. Go to rushcollege.com/joke of the day, submit your joke, and hopefully we'll read it online for the Rush Daily Show that will be starting on Monday. So those are some of the homework questions that you guys have. I'm going to leave it up there for a second if you guys want to take a picture of it. But there's some really good resources on there right now on Rush College and the Virtual Learning Center. So hopefully we see some good jokes. Okay. Any questions? Everyone loves cute puppies. What questions do we have? If you guys want to post your question on the slides, we can all chat about it. Here's the link to be able to post your questions. I mean, seriously, those are really cute puppies. As we're waiting for any questions, feel free to reach out to me, guys, at any time. Bill Behrens, if you're on the call, feel free to chime in if there's anything else you wanted to add. Bill is the mastermind behind this. All right. Well, I will share this presentation. It will be on the Virtual Learning Center. I will share that. If there's questions you guys have, submit a joke. How important are, oh, so we have a question here. How important are SAT, ACT scores? Alana asked, Alana, where are you from? As you guys can hear, I'm losing my voice. But so we have the question is, how important are ACT, SAT scores? NorCal Rush representing. ACT, SAT scores are incredibly important. It's going to be over 70% of the money that you'll get to attend college. In one of the quizzes that I ask, we'll talk about how much money is available for scholarships, but ACT, SAT scores are incredibly important. Every point you increase on ACT, SAT is really and truly money in your pocket. It's that simple. So if you're looking at ACT scores, you go from a 24 to 25, there's at least $1,000 in your pocket. So that's why we've stressed that important partnership with Magoose and to be able to have affordable online ACT, SAT study guides that you can do. So it's a great question. Thank you from NorCal Rush. So we have a question here. Z's asking, should I create an Instagram that is dedicated to soccer? How important is Twitter for the recruitment process? Are college scouters proactive on this platform? Great question, Z. Thank you so much, Z from NorCal Rush as well. So yes, that's up to you. I think there's two answers here. If your Instagram and Twitter account are clean, you can use them. If you're afraid that they're not and you don't want to dig through, I would create a separate one and make it all soccer related. You can, because through College Fit Finder, you can post you can have a link to your social media accounts. So I think having your own soccer specific one is important. And you're going to post only soccer stuff. So here I am listening to a presentation about preparing for on-campus visits, and here I am playing FIFA. Here I'm outside doing skills. So I think that can be very important, and I think Twitter is very, very important through the recruitment process. They are proactive on this, especially when you look at smaller schools. The coach is probably doing it themselves. So if you're interested in college, follow that college on Twitter, like the things they do, interact with them. And so that aspect is very important. It's just one more way to be able to interact with the coach. Great question, Z. And Bill posted this. Just remember that when coaches ask you questions, they want to hear how much you paid attention to what information they shared with you. Tell them about yourself is really, what do you know about us and how do you reflect our values and how you fit in? So that's a great point. Thank you, Bill. It goes back to the video that we posted. It is proactive listening. Bill Behrens from Missouri Rush. Linda from NorCal Rush has a question. With the shelter in place, is it a good time to reach out to coaches with highlight videos and intro? Yes, Linda, I think it is. I don't have that 100% answer because obviously this is something we've never in our entire lifetime been through. I think it is a very good time to reach out to them. I think the longer this goes on, the more bored everyone's going to get. So I think it is, especially with highlight videos. I think it's a great time because here the moral of the story is this is not going to last forever. The virus is going to go away. We're going to be back on a pitch, and coaches are going to have to get back into it. So I think highlight videos and reaching out to them right now is incredibly important. There's some of you possibly on this call that will be attending school this fall that haven't had the best opportunity because of the shutdown. So get highlight videos. And yes, I think it is very important to continue to reach out to coaches and be in contact with them. Okay. Keep posting content. There's some really good content being posted out there right now. There's some funny videos. Monday, as I said, we will be launching the Rush Daily Show, and we want input from everyone. And we'll actually have a talking to someone from Honduras to see how they're doing. So we're talking to kids across the, literally across the world. So if there's no more questions, I will sign off. If you need anything from me, please reach out. jtyler@rushsoccer.com. Remember the homework. Here's your homework to be able to do. There's that final screen. So I'll leave that up. But let me see some good jokes of the day, because we need some jokes for Monday on the Rush Daily Show. So thank you so much for joining. If you have anything else I can do, please let me know. I will leave this screen up for just a little bit here. And if you guys need anything else, please let me know. Stay safe, stay healthy, go Rush.